Shame, it is said that the ego's desires, when you chase after them, it's like drinking salt water almost.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize it. You think it's quenching it, but it's never quenching.
Yes.
It's almost insatiable. How can we see, how can we realize that that trap, number one, to see that it's, see it for the reality that it is and not be fooled by it, number one. On the flip side of the coin, there is that feeling of being one, of being the gratification of knowing that Allah is happy with you and you're happy with Allah at the same time. To attain that feeling in that station, how can we also see the reality of that and try to shoot for that as well?
How old are you?
40.
Mm. What? When's your birthday?
April 17th.
April 17th? Coming April, or you pass?
Passed.
You pass, okay. I'm asking the age because this question changes. When you are 20 years old, you ask, I'll give you a different answer. When you're 30, it's a different answer. When you're 40, it's a different answer. When you're 50, it's a different answer. Okay? And I'm giving you the answer for you. We've been in this path for a long time. They did not make everything easy for you. We did not grant you everything that you want or ease. You were tested so many different ways. But you held on. So for the person like that who has gone through some time walking in this way, finding it difficult, tested, but holding on and trusting in the Shaykh. The most important thing, you trust. Because otherwise, if you don't have the Shaykh there, you take matters into your own hands. You say, this cannot be done, this should be done, da, da, da. But once you take a guide, the Shaykh says, you want to turn left, turn right. But this one, turn left. It's okay, turn right, yes. You submitted. You did not judge. You didn't judge the Shaykh. You didn't say why he's telling me that, why he's going there, you're not unhappy with the Shaykh. You are not testing him, and you're not doubting him, and you're not judging him. He's saying this, but what about this? He's saying that, but you did not listen to your shaitan that way. Why is that? Why didn't you listen to your shaitan that way? Although, in this way, they will test you with so many things, and the things they're going to test it with is doubt to your Shaykh. Everything else is easy, but they're going to make you to doubt your Shaykh. But he didn't. May Allah make it easy for you. But he didn't. He watched people for a long time. Why didn't you? So easy to say, well, this person has this kind of capacity, this person has this kind of a character, this person, very easy. This person has this kind of upbringing, this person has this kind of privileges, this kind of experience. Very easy. But why didn't you? The person who's asking me that question, one of the things is, for a very long time in your life, you don't compare yourself to the Shaykh. You don't. You don't compare yourself to him. To say, I know better, or I know these things better, or these things he knows less. You don't. If it is there, you quashed it. One of the reasons why you're able to do that is from a very long time, you have been busy with carrying responsibility, working. And people who work in the real world, they stop asking too many philosophical questions. They stop. They deal with the real world. deal with real ego, deal with real dunya, they deal with that. And you're dealing with the world, you're working, and you're not happy with working. You're not. For the longest time, you want to give it up and you just want to stay here and read Quran. And I said, don't be Wahhabi. You remember? I said, no. And you didn't doubt me. So you're very busy. You keep yourself busy, meaning you know your limits. I shouldn't question this is none of my business, is this, that, doesn't matter. I'm very busy, I'm keeping myself busy with this. And you're able now, with your work, to align it, to make it to fit into serving the dargah. You were not doing it for yourself. You're not doing it to build a nice life for yourself. Now I have this, why can't I have this? I have this, I have this. You didn't. How I know that? Because you're busy with me. Some, we give them the dunya too. They had nothing. Nothing, no one, nothing. They want, and we say, maybe this will make them to be busy with Akhirat. We give them, they run away. This is about a matter of the heart. They run away. They're busy. Because if your heart is still here, there will be signs and actions, intentions and behavior open for everyone to see, nothing hidden. I'm saying, I have this. Then you see them pulling themselves away. They have much life outside of the dargah, talking to unbelievers, spending time doing this, doing that. Let's not open other things that they do. But coming to the dargah, so serious, so intense. At first you say, mashallah, these people are very good. But no, the heart is not here. That's why. I don't see them being passionate, having friendship, running to do other things, caring for other people, saying what's happening to you, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. None. So, when you're not busy, there's a problem. But when you're busy and you're busy with dunya, and you're not making the dunya to be aligned with akhirat, there's a bigger problem now. There's a bigger problem. Why? Because here we are saying day in, day out, weeks, months, years, don't trust in your ego. Kill your ego. Killing meaning don't give it life. Step on it, ride it. We're not changing that. But if your heart is not here, your ears are not here, your eyes are not here, no one is telling you, you're not hearing, it's not sticking. Don't trust in the dunya, don't trust in your ego, don't trust in your desires. Just like this and comes out like this. But this one is always with the Ahli Dunya who says, trust in the dunya. You have this, you can have this, you have this, you must be happy, you must be. It makes you to forget knowledge, it makes you to forget shame, modesty. You forget about everything. So you become, that time a person can be 30, 40, 50, 60, it doesn't matter. That desire, that intention is still strong, even when the body is breaking down. You are not getting stronger. You reach 40. This may be the peak. After that, you're going to get weaker. Alhamdulillah. Meaning everything is going to come down now. The obsession, the concern, the passion, everything for the dunya, for other things, for your desires, it'll start coming down. Because you're not surrounding yourself with others who say, no, it's going to live forever. No, you're surrounding yourself, you're busy with people who says, this is not important, this is not important. No permission, you cannot. You understand? to even think or to desire so much, it brings you some discomfort, it brings you some shame. You're not going to find it like unbelievers. What unbelievers they do? Before they fast, like so square head, wrong idea people, they fast. Religion says fast. Oh, but before we fast, we're going to get drunk. We're going to screw everything. We're going to take drugs. We're going to do every wrong thing in this world. And then, why? Because tomorrow we fast. They used to have that. It was celebrated. Before you enter into Lent, let's have Mardi Gras. Yes or no? Let's have Mardi Gras. Get drunk. Do everything and then later repent. This is not how Muslims should behave, not how mu'mins should behave. We don't look at that to see, okay, now that we've done this, we satisfied our ego, now we are balanced. Now we are normal. Now I can function. No, it's not that. You satisfy your ego, you feel yourself broken. And then you're going to run to fix it. Meaning, you drink that salt water, you're going to feel sick. You're going to feel sick. You must make yourself feel sick. You must know that it is sick. You're 40 years old. Give it some time. Maybe when you drink salt water when you're 20 is different, when you're 30, but when you're 40, it gets less and less, believe me. And you fight. What is Allah giving us to fight in His way? What are we challenged with in our life to fight in Allah's way? Nothing, absolutely nothing. It's making us to starve, to sacrifice, to give up, to bleed. Nothing. He's giving us everything. This fight. Say no. Not necessary. Yeah, it's strong. Fight. Fighting means there is the enemy that is in front of you. The idea is not for you to kill and to destroy and to completely eliminate the enemy. It is just to fight so that the enemy doesn't overtake you. Yeah, you feel like crap sometimes because you'll take a beating, but then you get up and you continue another day. And you continue another day. When is that going to get lesser and lesser? The more you're walking in this straight path, you'll find it. After a while, we'll have this conversation, inshallah. I'll give you 7 years. But in those 7 years, you must continue to fight. In those 7 years, it cannot be you let the ego to overtake you all the time. You cannot. You get to be 50 later. Everything doesn't go more and more and more. It gets less and less. Like I said, that salt water, you get more sick. It's not just going to make you queasy, you get more sick. And then, because you're busy, you realize, now I will have more satisfaction and more pleasure doing these other things. You must make yourself now to become busy, more busy. More busy doing what? Look at the Shaykh, how busy he is. And then you say, I'm going to do this also, do this also. Maybe now you're busy with work. Maybe later I say, okay, that's the easy part, to be busy with work. Now be busy with people. Be busy with people. That's how a lot of people, they fail or they give up. And once you start being busy with people, then you realize this takes a lot of me, out of me. And in a way, it is good because it stops me from having all this energy to be busy with that. So now you have to watch with who you are strong with that ego, when you are strong with those desires. What are the conditions? This and that. Once you understand all of that, you'll be able to control it a little bit. You say, this time I'll stay far away. This time I'll come close. The sweetness comes with satisfaction. Satisfaction comes with paying attention to the blessing that you have, tasting it, and giving thanks to Allah. Tasting it. If you don't pay attention, you're in ghaflat because you're proud, because you are heedless, because you're busy with other things. You can have the most beautiful thing prepared in front of you, but you can't taste it because your mind is somewhere else, your heart is somewhere else. You're not looking at that to appreciate it. Say, Allah gave me this. Allah gave me this. Allah gave me this. Yes, even if it is material things. It's not to say, I love this, but to say, Allah gave me this. Shukr ya Rabbi. Then the believer is going to think, Allah gave me this, shukr. Oh, that means you're not going to give shukr if Allah doesn't give? No. Then you start having a conversation. Allah gave me. If Allah takes it, yes, I should be shukr also. And how are you going to know Allah gives it? When you start sharing. Because when you start sharing, that means it doesn't belong to you. You say, oh, it's okay. Then you're going to check yourself. You're going to think about it. You're going to understand it. You're going to pay more attention. And then on the things that you don't have, that you feel that you're lacking, quickly your faith is going to say, yeah, you're lacking in that, but look at this. I have this. Okay, I don't have that, but I have this. Subhanallah. Isn't this enough? As a person of faith, it should be enough. It's more than enough. And at that time, you're not going to look so much what other people have too. That satisfaction can destroy the desire. But satisfaction, you have to cultivate for Allah's sake. If you're not connecting that satisfaction with whatever is in front of you, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and remembering Allah, then your heart will never be satisfied. But satisfaction will kill the desire. It will. I don't need this. I'm satisfied with this. This is enough. But I want this. Once in a while it goes up, it goes down, spiking a little bit here and there. But at the end of the day, you say, will you give this up? What if Allah takes this away? Isn't this? You start having that conversation. You say, no. This is good. Alhamdulillah. I don't even deserve this. I don't. That time, if you're satisfied, whatever is in front of you. And believe me, Shaykh Effendi is not giving us just whatever that is in front of us. He's giving us, so many of us, all of us, what our heart desires. Especially now. If you cannot find satisfaction in that, then you've lost your connection to Allah. You lost it. And you will find once you start being very satisfied, and once you start sharing, once you start giving, more will come. Then you start sharing again, more will come. You keep circling around and around. Allah grant us more satisfaction, inshallah. Allah grant us more gratitude and gratefulness. Allah grant us a taste. May Allah not deaden our hearts. May our hearts become alive and to taste of the ni'mat of Allah. May our taste for this world die. May our desires lose its powers on us. That we have control over it, inshallah. May Allah forgive all our weaknesses. May Allah make us better, inshallah. May Allah raise the station of our Shaykh. May Allah forgive me and bless you. Al-Fatiha. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. So sohbat, association, who you are around is everything. Huh? If you're around people who are quickly satisfied with these things, you learn the skill. If you're around people who are always hungry, when you're not hungry, you're going to be hungry. We understand you have to be in the dunya. Make the dunya to serve you and to serve Allah. And be with people of Akhirat, they'll teach you this satisfaction. Don't look down on them. Maybe it's something simple, they're going to be so happy. It's okay. It's enough. For that reason, be with them. Assalamu alaikum.